It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for Raise the Dead, the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead spinoff. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some supposedly leaked clips from the trailer for Season 1, which hasn't been officially released yet. Now, I'm gonna go on a conspiracy expedition here and say that these are not actually leaked, even though they look leaked. I think that these are put out early the way they are to increase the hype and for publicity. I could be wrong, but I see absolutely no reason why these clips would leak early, and even more so that it's not really revealing anything major. So, unless someone was really pissed off at AMC, I don't see a reason why these would be leaked. You know what I mean? But I do want to put out a spoiler warning because these are quote unquote leaked, so if you don't want to see them, this is your chance to leave this video. So with that said, stay tuned, we'll be right back to break these down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. And obviously, as you will see, there's a lot of watermark text on the clips, and the clips were like a couple seconds long each. I just took screenshots of these clips. We actually see some dialogue as well, which I don't know if it's like from the trailer, if it's voiceovers, or if these are title cards. But one says you don't need saving when you're the hero. I don't know who would say that. I don't think this is something that Daryl would say. It's not in character for him to say such a thing. So it might be someone saying this to Daryl, or this might just be like a title card that no one actually says. But then we have this shot of Daryl, and we can actually see that he's wet, so it looks like maybe this is when he washes ashore in France, obviously. And in the voiceover, he says, "My name's Daryl Dixon." So he's introducing himself. And then we actually see this shot, which we actually looked at in some of the previous videos that we did. We have a nun who's actually taking care of Daryl, giving him a bath and everything. And it seems like this is right after he gets rescued by these nuns. And I'm assuming they're in a community which has a church in it, because we will see the church or some type of church in a little bit. But this is interesting. I mean, we haven't really seen Daryl in this light, literally. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that and where his story goes when it comes to experimenting with his character development and trying new things. I think everyone wants to see Daryl do new things and be involved in new, unique, and interesting stuff. So let's see what happens with that. But then we have this shot of Daryl. Again, it seems like this is right after he gets washed ashore, because he's in some sort of a port and he's looking for people. There's boats there, and obviously we see the water. And in the voiceover, he says, "I come from a place called the Commonwealth in America." So that's obviously telling us that he tells this group who he meets in France about Commonwealth and about where he comes from. That could either work to his advantage or a way for him to be vulnerable a little bit. I'm not saying that people from France are going to travel all the way to Commonwealth and attack, but I'm just saying that this could be something that they might take and give to others who will have the resources to go there. And then we have this shot of him. It seems like he's in a pantry or a storage room or something, but it looks like he's worried and stuff like that. And in the voiceover, he says, "I went out looking for something. All I found was trouble." So a tease at what he was doing before he washed ashore. I don't think we're going to see any of that, but we might. And obviously, when he says looking for something, that's referring to looking for Rick, because that's why he left in the first place in the original show. And then he says, "If I don't make it back, I want them all to know I tried." Self-explanatory, not much to break down. And then he says, "Hell, I'm still trying." And then we have this shot. It seems like this is in the same place, but there's walkers there, and it looks like he's trying to save himself, kill the walkers, and get out. And then we have this shot of a female character who's going to be introduced. This is actually the same nun that was taking care of him. I don't know if this is supposed to be his love interest or not, but the trailer, or not the trailer, I should say the clips that we see make it out like that's the case. But we're going to have to wait to see. And then we have this shot with Daryl with some young kids, and it looks like they're watching a movie or something, which is interesting. And it looks like Daryl is actually enjoying himself, so that's cool. And then we have this shot. I think this is much later. I don't think this is early on. I think this is when he was with this group for a little bit. But we do see the nun in the background, and we see a young child next to Daryl. I don't know if they're going the direction where Daryl has this fatherly bond with someone, or if they're just going a direction where he just meets new people and some of them are younger, and his connection to Judith and Carl and everyone, he might find ways to use that to his advantage. I don't know which direction exactly they're going to go, but we're going to have to wait and see. And just to be clear, what I mean by that is they're going to have a situation where Daryl uses these past experiences to get close to the young kids there, to get information out of them, to see if this group can be trusted or not. And then we have this shot of the two of them, the same young girl and Daryl. And this location looks like some sort of a church. We'll see this location again in a little bit. But this is interesting. I mean, we see crops in the background, so this is a thriving community. But it looks like it's a church. And then we have Daryl with a gun. He looks pretty awesome here. He actually reminds me of Max Payne in this shot. I don't know why, but it just does. But this is obviously in the same location, in the middle of that garden. Now, this is also connected to another leaked clip that came out, which showed a few soldiers or people who looked like soldiers attacking nuns and dragging them away in the same place. Like, we could see the garden, we could see the church, so it was in the same exact church, which is definitely super interesting. We'll see some people dressed in the same type of uniform, or I should say one person dressed in the same uniform in this trailer, and that could connect to the other leaked clip that I referred to. But then we have this shot of Daryl in the same exact spot. I think this was the same place he was sitting at when the young girl was sitting next to him. But in the voiceover, someone says, "You think this man is the one?" referring to Daryl. To which the nun who we saw earlier says, "I saw him fight. I saw how strong he is." So not much to say, self-explanatory. And then we have this shot of everyone eating dinner at a huge table. We see Daryl there as well. Super interesting. Most of these look female, but I could be wrong. But it looks like an all-female community, much like the ocean side. So that's definitely super interesting. But then we have this shot of Daryl with some ladies, and then obviously the lady on the right appears to be the same nun that we saw Daryl's love interest at this point, as far as we know. And then we have her here, not much to say. And then we have this shot of Daryl fighting someone. This is the guy I was talking about. It looks like they're dressed in the military uniform, so this could be connected to the other leaked clip where the nuns were attacked by people in these types of black uniform. And then we have this shot of Daryl killing these walkers. Now, what's interesting is that it looks like he has the weapon that he had in like season 9, I think. It was called like the Morning Star or something, the weapon that he is using. So that's definitely super interesting. I wonder if he has that in France, or if this is before he gets to France. I think that's a possibility that we're going to see him before, and we're not going to pick up with him washing ashore to France, which I would love to see, honestly, because it doesn't really make sense for us to start in France unless they do flashbacks and jump back in time and explain things. But that's pretty much everything. That's all of the images that I wanted to go through. I am interested to know your thoughts and opinions about these, so share that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.